Hi Taurus, here's a general look at your solar chart for what's left of January and February 2012. And after quite an intense time in December, January is picking up your spirits, boosting your spirits, and making you feel more outgoing, more expansive, more enterprising, more enthusiastic, even though we've got Venus still in this very emotionally sensitive area. But in January you should feel increasingly confident and less inward, but and more getting things more in perspective, joining up the dots. Then from January the 20th to February the 19th, you'll probably be more conscious of what you want to achieve, your goals, your ambitions, your targets, and more conscious of how well you are projecting yourself, feeling a bit under the spotlight at times, but feeling more conscious of outer image or how you're packaging something, and also more conscious maybe of traditional ways of doing things, being firm, being authoritative, or just being traditional. Maybe feeling that you've got to set a standard or an example, that you've got to be disciplined about your worldly responsibilities as well. Some of you may be having more to do with officialdom or bureaucracy, or just those in, positions of so-called power, positions to help you in some way. You could feel a bit frustrated and restricted by the status quo, maybe, and also some of you may be having more contact with parents or guardian figures or bosses and the like, and feeling a bit challenged maybe in that area there sometimes, but it's not obligatory. The astrology isn't so much about what the planetary energies are doing, but how we are responding to those energies, which are pretty much non-judgmental energies and don't have an opinion one way or the other. They just are what they are. So like weather systems coming in, so some of you may have had more contact with those sorts of people in authority, particularly on the mother side, or maybe the maternal kind of archetype, as well. Now, from February the 19th onwards, the Sun moves into a very busy and progressive area there. You can really get the ball rolling. You feel that you're going nearer to something that maybe has been ticking over, something that's been on the back burner for quite a while, and friendships, but also groups of people who come together for a common cause or a common aim. And that can be over the wires as well, but also kindred spirits, people with special interests. This is all going to be highlighted, and it's also, as I say, a period when you feel as though you're moving forwards now, but unexpected or unconventional encounters or influences could be more prevalent as well, and you, Taurus, are going to have to be a little bit more flexible and roll with that. And just be maybe a bit experimental about something as well, and just say to yourself, okay, we'll see how this goes, and try and not to attach too much expectation to it. But definitely during that time there, it won't be so much what you know as who you know, and what you can achieve through who you know, being alert to what's new on the block as well, and very much pooling resources there. Now, Mercury, until the 19th, Mercury is right alongside the Sun and is focusing your mind maybe in a more outward focus than it was in December, where it was very inward and focusing outwardly, thinking about maybe foreign connections, long-distance connections, travel, unfamiliar environments. Anyway, this is a great time to get out of your familiar box, refresh your mental palette, and learn stuff that you didn't know before. You're likely to be on a bit of a learning curve here. Definitely looking to join up the dots to get the bigger picture on something, to work out some kind of a strategy, map out some kind of plan, and getting quite enthusiastic about that maybe. And there could be more contacts from further afield, or from the sort of people who are experts in their field, who are mentors, teachers, advisors, but also you being seen as the expert in your field, the mentor, teacher, advisor, but also the broadcaster in some kind of a way as well. Not necessarily broadcasting, although it can be, but just like putting out the word in some sort of bigger kind of a way. And some of you could be looking into the legal, or have to look at the legal side of things at this time as well. Now, from the 19th of January to February the 6th, Mercury is in a different area where your mental focus and your discussions, or maybe your correspondence, will be centered around plans, targets, where you go from here, what's the next step. And you may find your goals and schemes very much talked about, but also being validated or having to be altered by the way things are unfolding across maybe the wider stage, not just in your life. And you putting mental effort into all of that there, having to deal maybe with more official type paperwork, form filling, that kind of thing could be, that sort of thing there. And then from the 6th, Mercury will then change and move and put the mental focus on this very progressive area, along with where the sun's going to be at that time, and you furthering your aims, or rather later on in the month, the sun's going to be there, you furthering your aims, you getting the ball rolling on something, and definitely highlighting group associations, exchanging knowledge, maybe online forums, that kind of thing, but also over the web and at home in a community as well. And again, stumbling across interesting little nuggets of information, unusual information, and you finding things that reveal themselves that the kind of, you prick up your ears and you're quite interested. In fact, all of this time here is kind of easing off that sort of heaviness that you were feeling in December, or a heavier sort of feeling. Having said that, of course, you do have Saturn in your opposite sign, and will have that planet there over the next couple of years. But I'll mention that in a minute. Now, until the 9th, Venus, your ruling planet, was manifesting maybe as an influence which was emotionally supportive, but also could have been materially supportive as well, in a practical kind of a way, somebody to lean on. And that's up until the 9th. And then from the 9th, faces and places at a distance. Here again, you shift gears into this more outward focus. Those at a distance may have more of an appeal at a relationship. It could be connected to travel. Somebody comes to see you, or you go to see someone, or you're just connecting with each other. Maybe it's a foreign culture. Maybe it's somebody who is an advisor or a mentor for you, or you are an advisor or mentor or guide in some way for them. And it could also be a relationship you're bonding with somebody, or somebody that you know already in an academic or advice-giving environment, or indeed an environment which is connected to a place which is in your familiar stamping ground. And then from the 2nd of February, Venus comes to the top of your solar chart. That really does bode well for those in positions of authority or power to view you in a helpful kind of a way. Somebody who is in a position of authority could facilitate you, support you in some way, and helping you to make a move in the right direction at the right time in the right way. And some of you could be socializing with people in positions who can help you, who've just got one more string to pull maybe than you do, or somebody who is indeed like a boss, or an official in some way, and again views you with some sort of in a friendlier sort of a way than maybe often they do, and it gives you a boost up the ladder. Having said that, you yourself could feel that you are helping somebody else during this time here. Could be a female who is the linchpin here, who's sort of the pivot here to kind of opening the gate to better things for you. And then from the 26th, friends and acquaintances are going to be very well starred, very warm, supportive, and you moving forwards with something that you've hoped for, you've dreamed about maybe for a very long time, so mixing and mingling with others in a social sense, or in a work sort of circle, or team, the energies are nice there for that from the 26th onwards, but also for hanging out with friends. And then from the 2nd of February, that's going to be a period when you could be putting physical and mental effort into achieving certain goals and realizing certain ventures or projects. These may or may not be career orientated, but overall this Mars transit will have you or inspire you to launch into something in a decisive and energetic way, because it's like there's the clarity there now. And Mars will help you, despite his controversial tendencies. Might mean that the Mars energy channeling through you makes you hot under the collar with the powers that be, or you feel that they're being uncooperative. But if you manage to keep your cool and not be too hasty, you can make progress with the master plan, but also with shorter term targets as well. And then now Saturn, I mentioned Saturn is in your opposite sign, went in there in October, and really it means that you're going to have to work harder during this long transit at balancing your point of view and how you see it and where you're coming from with the point of view and how they see it and where they're coming from. So it's going to be a time when you're having to reshape maybe the way you are with others, and reappraise your own behavior, but also in some cases reappraise their behavior towards you and decide that you've really got to ditch this now because it's not doing you any good. However it is for you, it's always up to you, but this is the Saturn energy, which is limiting and also is sort of narrower and stricter really than maybe what you've been tolerating or what you've been used to in that area of close relationships. So you might be the one that's the stricter one. It doesn't necessarily have to be coming from the other side. At times you'll be keenly aware of walking somebody else's shoes, but at other times you feel very frustrated by their demands or their restricting or limiting behavior towards you. So compromise, collaborations, compromise and cooperation really, and cultivating, gradually, slowly, patiently cultivating somebody or certain others will have to be done, and probably be a little bit harder work. There's more obstacles to overcome during that long transit of Saturn there. For many years, Uranus is going to be in a background area and private area, an area of incubating in the background of your life, but every now and again you will come to understand your behavior a bit better, your deeper motivations a bit better, and maybe just get that bit more tolerant and compassionate with others. There's actually more about these slow moving outer planets on my website. I haven't mentioned Jupiter. Jupiter is in a very potentially lucrative place for you, so take advantage of that position of Jupiter until June to splash out on whatever might help you expand your life mentally, physically, materially into new territories, and it could result in better comforts or better conditions around you, and more desirable resources, and that of course includes expansion of your piggy bank. And until the 2020s, Neptune is going to be in an area which means that you may become more involved with groups which serve a community, good causes, or maybe it's collaborating with others in a learning scenario, or kindred spirits who have a special area of interest in common. And definitely your sense of compassion within a group or to friends and associates is going to be growing and developing over this long time. Pluto is now in Capricorn in a very, very positive angle to your sun sign, Taurus, meaning for several years Pluto will gradually continue to deepen your awareness and help you find the thread of your own personal truth in the myriad twists and turns and completely baffling behavior of other human beings at times, and you'll be distilling the essence from this, particularly through, I think, travel, going to foreign lands, maybe intellectual seeking, academia, but also spirituality and philosophy and the law, and that includes the spiritual law as well. So you find out more about the slow-moving planets on my website if you're interested, and also which part of your sign they're impacting the most over January and February. And that's it. If you know your rising sign, you can find that somewhere on here and listen to that. And I wish you very well for 2013. I hope you have a cracking year and a juicy one as well. And I will see you the next time.